here we are now. So over the years, as you can see here, we've continued to remodel, and we continue to grow. And this is our most recent sign that we put up just about a month ago. And now, CCS is home to 12 nonprofit agencies offering an array of health and human services. You see here all the different agencies that we partner with on our campus. And we've always been close partners with United Way and Johnson University. And what we find today is that the need for continued local access to services is enormous. The poverty level is currently estimated at about 18,000 for a family of 3, 22,000 for a family of 4. And based on these levels, about 1 in 5 children in Greenville County are below poverty level. And right next door in Lawrence County, 28.3% of children are below poverty level. At the state level, we find that 44% of children are living in low-income families. Now, contrary to common stereotypes you might have about what a typical homeless person looks like, we find that about a third of the homeless population are in families with dependent children. And as a result of this poverty, we find that crime rates increase, both among adults and juveniles. We find that household food insecurity becomes a major concern. We also find domestic violence on the rise. We see instances of child abuse and neglect go up as well. And without the social support and services, the children become even more vulnerable than they already are. And it turns out that far too many children are without any form of health insurance whatsoever. And that number is growing. Far too many children are testing not ready for first grade. And that rate was even higher in the Lawrence County, right next door. Now, looking at broader social trends, the demographics are changing. And compared to all other states, South Carolina has the highest rate of increase in the foreign born population. And now, to put this in perspective, the immigrant population still hovers at around 4 to 5% of the overall population, but it's that rate of increase that is really taxing and it's really challenging to our infrastructure. Because the immigrant population really needs unique services and unique attention. And our infrastructure is not yet equipped to handle the rapid change in growth. So all in all, the need for continued local access to services is enormous. And the numbers are growing. We're seeing firsthand at the center the changing state of the population. And much of this is due to the current economic downturn. Compared to the most recent statistics available through the U.S. Department of Labor, the unemployment rates are just staggering. You can see here, similar to the state rate, the Greenville metropolitan area has experienced almost double the unemployment rate compared to last year. So troubles are being approached at home. More people, more families, more neighborhoods are affected now than they were before. And so what we do at the center has become even more important than ever. And our agencies work to feed the hungry, to provide basic health care to the most vulnerable, to provide early childhood education, to promote health literacy, to meet the unique needs of that Latino immigrant population, to provide social support to families through a range of activities throughout the year. Now, going back to the synergies that I was talking about earlier, what makes us different and what makes us unique and strong at the center is that we see each agency and each program as a piece of a larger puzzle. And it's when they come together and they interlock and they work together that we can meet the needs of families most effectively and efficiently. And so at the center, we have services that address health, that address hunger and poverty alleviation, literacy and education. We also have programs that address family violence intervention and prevention of child abuse and neglect, as well as outreach to the Latino population. And so the center as a whole is And the center makes it possible for these agencies to see the power of the Mauldin and the rest of the Golden Strip area. The center provides that infrastructure for these agencies to function together to meet the basic needs of families. And it's really rare that a client will ever come into our center needing just on needs. It's more likely to be that they come in without any food and they can't pay their utilities, but they also don't have health care. And they're isolated from any kind of social support. And there's no one agency alone that can address all of these pressing social needs. It really takes that collaboration of agencies to get at their core issues. And of course, this does not represent the whole picture. There are many more pieces to the puzzle. In fact, the Center for Community Services partners with Greenville High School. We partner with Hudson and Department of Social Services to offer SNAP, which is the food stamp outreach program. We partner with Greenville Tech and St. Francis and the Horizons to provide free dental cleanings and x-rays about 2 or 3 times a month at the center. United Way, we are one of the tax assistance sites. We also offer parent grants to help families get connected to one another through parent-child activities. And our newest partnership is with the South Carolina Farm Bureau with our new community garden. And since we are no longer in World War II, instead of calling it Victory Garden, we are calling it a synergy garden. And of course, there's room for more people to the puzzle. With well over 1,000 clients coming into the center at any given month, what we are able to do is keep an eye on the changing needs of the community and the changing needs of the clients. This puts the center in a key position to recognize and fill the gaps in services in the community. And this would not be possible if all these agencies were fragmented and on their own. And so this ultimately speaks to that real synergistic effect of the Center for Community Services. Now, again, to put this all in perspective, the center has staff of 4, 3 of whom are part-time, and given the growing needs of the community, the center is also in need. But considering everything we've been able to achieve under the circumstances and given the lack of resources, just imagine what we could achieve with more resources. Imagine how many more children and families could get connected with those services that they desperately need. Imagine how many children could have a head start and be ready for responsibility. Imagine how many adults who are being laid off from their jobs for over 30 years can now gain literacy skills that they need. Imagine how many more mouths that could be fed. And imagine how many more children and families can have access to health care. Also imagine better outreach and better integration of all groups into the community. And most of all, imagine a place where people can meet their needs in one welcoming place without the fear of stigmatization, in a place where they can all be a part of the community, and that place being the Center for Community Services. And to take it one step further, and actually one more thing, and that is that the Center of Community Services as the center of community. But none of this could be possible without the pooling of resources and the support from schools, churches, businesses, and other community organizations and neighborhoods. So now when you think about all the pieces of the puzzle, we have the agencies and the potential for more partnerships. We have wide community support as part of the puzzle. And we are ready, and the community needs us to take this to that next level. But we know here that we've got a lot of work to do. We have more pieces to fill, and we also have to strengthen the partnerships that we already have. And we cannot do this without your help. So together, I think that we can imagine the Center for Community Services as a center of community, where individuals and families working towards self-sufficiency, as well as community members and parents, come together to strengthen the community as a whole. So I ask you to please join us in achieving our mission. Thank you.